Shuklam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om. Dear friends, welcome to the Geeta. We are seeing the 17th shloka of the third chapter of Gita, that is Karma Yoga. We are reading the context, we are knowing about the context of a jnani. Yastu atmaratireva syad atmatruptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. I explained to you yesterday what exactly is this atmatrupti, atmarati. I referred that discussion in Taittiriya Upanishad about Ananda Mimamsa, what is a human measure, what is the measure of human happiness, and what is the measure of Gandharva's happiness, what is the measure of Pitru-Devata's happiness, what is the measure of Devendra's happiness, etc., etc. And all that happiness, this gentleman who is a jnani, he is having all that happiness and much, much more. Because all that happiness which all these people are having, it is all limited. It is all by having some sensual pleasures, having some pleasures from some external objects. But this gentleman, he is identifying with that infinite, and there is no question of desire for any external thing. So that is the situation with him. So, and I was telling about what is called sannyasi and jnani. The last line we were seeing, tasya karyam na vidyate. For a jnani, there is no mandatory action. He is not obliged to do. There is no karma is not obligatory for him. But he may do karma also. That is what I was saying. I was telling about the difference between a jnani doing karma and a jnani not doing karma. Jnani Gruhastha, he is having a ashrama dharma, what is called Gruhasthashrama dharma. That is, he is in a particular stage of life. In that particular stage of life, Dharma Shastra mandates some action on him. And that particular action he is supposed to do. He is supposed to do that particular type of action. And but he is again sannyasi. For the sannyasi, because he has renounced all karmas, he doesn't do all these yajnas, yagas and all these karmas which are meant for punyam, etc. But he may be telling others, okay, you do this, because they are all in a totally different level. Because our system, any system has to take care of all different levels of people. Because he has become a sannyasi, he should not tell all other people, okay, give up all actions, etc. So he has to tell, okay, you do this puja, you do some other puja, you do some other yajnam, etc., etc., because their level is that. So a sannyasi for 4 months, I was telling yesterday, he observes what is called Chaturmasyam, and for the next 8 months he goes around, that is what is Parivrajanam. That is the reason why he is called Parivrajaka. And now, tasya karyam na vidyate. So that is the reason why we also see some Swamijis. For example, if you go to some big peetams, really traditional peetams like Sringeri and some other places, there the Swamijis, they spend time in doing some puja. Not for himself. He is basically demonstrating to all others, yes, you are also supposed to do this puja, you are also supposed to do like this. So he is setting an example before all other people. So that we are going to see shortly. So tasya karyam na vidyate. Then the 18th shloka also says, is a continuation. 18th shloka is a continuation of this earlier idea, that is, a sannyasi or a jnani need not do action, but he may do also. So, naiva tasya krutenartho na kruteneha kasyana nachasya sarvabhuteshu kashidarthavyapashrayah. So, it says, naiva tasya krutena artha. Krutam means a karma. Karma means that which is going to give you some punyam. So, this man, he has no benefit from any karma. A jnani who is already a realized person, he has no benefit, nothing more has to be got, because he is in that state of infinity. And there is no question of adding anything to the infinity. So, infinity, if you just understand, if we just see the mathematical concept also, infinity is what? You can't add anything to the infinity. And you can't delete also anything from the infinity. Even if you delete something from the infinity, it continues to be infinity only. So, that is the reason why even in Lalita Sahasranama, we get names like Heyo Upadeya Varjita. Heyam means something which can be deleted. Upadeyam means something which can be added. So, Heyopadeya Varjita means she is in that state of infinity where you have nothing to remove and nothing to add. For infinity, there is nothing to remove and nothing to add. So, he is in that position. So, that is the reason why he doesn't want any punyam. There is no need for any punyam. So that is the reason why many people, they don't bother to go to all these pilgrim centers, because some little bit of vairagya has come. If you see people who have got some little bit of vairagya, okay, if you are going to Tirupati, okay, go and get punyam, I don't want punyam. So we find people like that. So naivatasya krutena arthaha na akrutena. And that means even if he doesn't do anything also, there is no harm. Even if he does anything, even if he does any karma, he has no benefit from it. Even if he does not do something, there is no loss. If he does any karma, there is no benefit. If he does not do also, there is no loss. Akrutena iha kashana. And he has nothing, he has absolutely no expectation from anybody. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Sarvabhuteshu means from all the beings in the world. He has no expectation from any being anywhere in the world. Kaschid arthavyapashraya. Artham is artha. Artham is purpose. So nachasya sarvabhuteshu kaschid arthavyapashraya. He is aware, he is a man who is aware of his fullness. He is aware of his nature of infinity. He is aware of what is called purnatvam. So there is no question of he going and asking something from somebody else. So nachasya sarvabhuteshu kaschid arthavyapashraya. Because he is in that state of, in the second chapter, Krishna was telling about sarvatas samplutodake. A person who is in that, he was comparing Vedas to a small well, whereas a jnani is somebody who is in a huge pond of water, huge lake of pure water. Suppose you are staying in a pure lake of, in a huge lake of pure water, there is no need for you for a tap water because that pure water itself is there. So Vedas are like small well, and you have gone beyond that level, you have transcended that level of Vedas. So that is what we saw. So this gentleman who is a jnani, he is in that level, so he has no desire from anybody. Desire is only because of the sense of inadequacy, and this jnani is somebody who has not any sense of inadequacy. So that is there, the shloka was yavan artha udapane sarvatas samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu. That is, Veda also he has transcended. Only in the Indian tradition can say that, okay, Vedas also they have got a limitation, because usually religions cannot say about their own book, our book is the ultimate. They say, religion says, my book is the ultimate. But in our system we say Vedas are only a means. Vedas are only a means for self-realization. And once you are a jnani, then Vedas, they become very limited. They are of not much use. That is, they something like somebody who is already in a very, very high level. He doesn't have any great use for all these things. That book is not ultimate. Only you are ultimate. The jnanam is ultimate. The book is not ultimate. And then we come to the next shloka. Then after talking about the jnani, then Krishna is coming back to Arjuna. What did Krishna do? Krishna initially talked about karma yoga. Then he compared it with yajna. And after comparing it with yajna, he said, but however, in the case of a jnani, all these things do not apply, he said. And then again he said, he is now coming and saying, tasmad asaktaha, but you are not at that level, so you have to do karma. He is now saying, in this 19th shloka, he is going to say, tasmad asaktas satatam karyam karma samachara, asakto hyacharan karma, param apnoti purushaha. This is a simple shloka. Tasmat. Tasmat means therefore, wherefore, why? This has to connect, we have to take back to the earlier prior, two shlokas prior. That is, you are not at that level of sarvata samplutodaka. You are not at that level where you are in that huge lake of pure water. And you can't at this stage discard Vedas. You can't say that Vedas are all small puddle of water. You can't discard Vedas. You are still at the level of Vedas only. You have to perform, you have to perform your duty, you have to perform your dharma, whatever is obligatory dharma for you, you have to perform that dharma. Tasmad asaktaha. But then, what is the attitude while performing work? Asaktaha. Sangha means attachment. Sakta means somebody who is having attachment is called sakta. Sangha is attachment. Sakta is a person who is attached. Asakta means a person who is not attached. So, asaktaha. Satatam. Satatam means always, all types of activities, all activities. Karyam karma samachara. Karyam karma. I told you the karma, difference between karma and karyam. Karma means action. Karyam means something which has to be done, something which is obligatory, something which is mandatory. So, karyam karma samachara, then asakto hyacharan karma. Asakta because, so asaktaha he means because, he is an avyaya, like tu, this he also is an avyaya. He means because, asaktaha karma acharan param apnoti purushaha. That is, it means that a person who is doing this karma or performing his karma with a sense of detachment, total sense of detachment, not uninterestedness. There are two words called uninterestedness and disinterestedness. Uninterestedness means lack of interest. Suppose I am asked to do something, I am not getting any benefit from that. If I am not getting any benefit from that, why should I do? Okay, I will do it in a very perfunctory manner. Perfunctory is another word which we use normally. So, this man, he is always perfunctory in his job. Perfunctory means he just comes to office and goes, he just pushes some files without he doesn't apply himself much, and then he doesn't exert himself much, he just pushes a file and goes away. That is a perfunctory manner. That is a totally uninterested way. Whereas, there is somebody who is having some benefit from that and he is having a lot of interest in pushing a file. So, that is another example. But here, he is neither having that attachment nor having some dislike. So, this is a disinterested. Disinterested is a positive word. Uninterested is a negative word. So, here asakto hyacharan karma, when will a person be disinterested? It is only when he is acting in accordance with that Ishwararpana buddhi, in accordance with that cosmic framework, cosmic laws or cosmic order, then he is disinterested. He is disinterested and he is not seeking the fruit of that, but at the same time he is performing it to the best of his ability, not in a very lazy manner or in a very perfunctory manner. Just go and put your thumb impression, sit in the office and come back. Not like that. That biometric thing will be there. Just enter the office, go and then mark attendance and come back. Not like that. So, asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purusha. When a person is performing his actions in that disinterested but at the same time active manner, then he attains gradually over a period of time by chitta shuddhi. It is not, and we have to make another thing very clear. One more point which we have to be very clear. Karma alone does not lead to moksha. This is one fundamental axiom which we have to note. Karma, whatever karma it is, you may do what is this Chandi Yaga, you may do Rudra Yaga, you may do Sudarshana Yaga, you may do Samadari Yagam, all these things they attain only punya. And yajno dhanam tapasyaiva, and you also give all types of donations, you give all those good things. There are certain rituals, there are certain good activities which are told in these scriptures. There are many other good actions which are not told in the scriptures, and all those things they give you only punya. But moksha is something, moksha does not mean any other place to go. Swarga is a place to go, whereas moksha is not a place to go. Moksha is a state of realization, a state of understanding. Here and now, sitting in your room, you are a realized person. Sitting in your own room, that is moksha. That is what is called Jivan Mukti. When you are totally free from all the bonds, when all these knots in the mind, there are so many knots, KNOTS knots, there are so many knots in our mind, all those knots when they are resolved, then happily the man is happy, absolutely happy, and that is what is moksha. So, here moksha is not by any karma. Karma may give you some heaven, karma may give you some punyam, etc., but karma will not lead you to moksha. So, the commentators are very careful in pointing out that param apnoti purushaha, a person will attain that supreme. When Krishna is saying that, how to interpret it? We can't interpret it, we should not interpret by saying that by doing karma he will attain moksha. By doing karma he will attain that antahkarana shuddhi, that is purity of mind. By doing all good actions, any good action we do, what do we get? Immediately also. In fact, in the scouts also, when you go to scouts class, what do they say? Every day you do one good act. So, that is the basic principle. So, here 100 times a scout, every day for every action you do, yadyat karma karomi tattadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Yadyat karma karomi, whatever action I do, when I am speaking to somebody, when I am eating something, or whatever action I am doing, it is tava aradhanam. So, that is from that point of view, Ishwararpana point of view, I am performing every action. So when when we perform actions like that, then automatically that chitta shuddhi, that purity of mind takes place. So paramapnoti purushaha chitta shuddhi dwara, that is what commentators say. You attain that chitta shuddhi and thereafter you become eligible for the next stage. Then the next shloka again talks about karma. Next shloka is again a very interesting shloka, that is where he is giving some examples of people who have performed karma. The examples are very great people. It is not Arjuna. Why is Krishna telling Arjuna all these things? Because Arjuna said, no, I don't want to fight, I don't want to do this thing, and I want to do bhikshatanam, I want to become a sannyasi, I want to do all that, I want to follow that Brahmana dharma. So that is what he said. Then Krishna started saying, you cannot follow that. It is Brahmana dharma, okay, Brahmana will be a sannyasi, but Kshatriya is not supposed to become a sannyasi. So he is telling the examples of Kshatriya, some great kings who were also family people. They were not all sannyasis, they were all family people, but at the same Gruhastha and Jnani. So he is giving the examples. All these people, they attained moksha. They attained realization by doing karma also, in spite of doing karma, along with karma. Not because of karma. By doing karma, they attained moksha. Not like that. Not because of karma. In spite of karma, in spite of doing karma, even when associated with karma, they attained moksha. That is what he is saying in this 20th shloka. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayah lokasangrahameva api sampashyan kartumarhasi. So karmana eva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayah. So this Janaka, etc., we know this Janaka, we all know who Janaka is. Janaka is the father of Sita. We find that character in Ramayana. And this Janaka, we don't know whether that Ramayana's Janaka is the same as the Janaka whom we find in the Upanishads. In the Upanishads, particularly in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a lot of mention about Janaka. King Janaka is having his court, and in his court there are pandits so many scholars who are there, and all the scholars are debating about this Brahma Tattvam, what is the nature of reality. In fact, if you see Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, everyone has to read that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is a fairly big Upanishad, or rather I should say, this is the biggest of all the Upanishads. Ishavasya Upanishad, only small Upanishad with only 18 mantras, and Mandukya Upanishad with only 12 mantras, and like that Kena Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, all small Upanishads, maybe 100 sloka, 100 mantras, 200 mantras, etc. But this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is a very huge text. That not this huge, fairly huge text. There you find lot many things, and then that is something which one has to read. Brihadaranyaka, not read, kindly listen. I should correct myself. When I say read Geeta, I don't mean read Geeta, listen to Geeta, told by some Swamiji. There are some very good modern Swamijis who are telling. For example, there is one Swamiji called Sarva Priyananda, who is now in New York. Sarva Priyananda, he stays in New York, and he talks in that Vedanta Society of Southern California. There is a society there. Lot many Americans are becoming monks. Incidentally, we have to know that lot many Americans are getting attracted to Buddhism and Vedanta. So many Americans also, you listen to that. For example, if you go to YouTube and you type that Vedanta Society of Southern California, you get lot many Westerners speaking on Vedanta. And many of them speak very well also. Many of them, they also know. They may not be knowing Sanskrit, but they know this subject. So like that. So why was I saying all that? Karmana eva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayah. So here, this karmana eva means along with this karma, this king Janaka, etc. Yeah, I was telling about this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. That Brihadaranyaka Upanishad makes a mention of this king Janaka. King Janaka was a very, very noble king, very wise king. Because he is a wise king, he is entertaining, or rather he is supporting so many great scholars. And one great scholar is Yajnavalkya. And there is a big debate between Yajnavalkya and several other scholars, where Yajnavalkya, he explains to all of them. All the people, they put forth various arguments, and all their arguments are countered, and Yajnavalkya stands out as the most eminent, most preeminent among all those people. So we see this discussion discussion among various sages in King Janaka's court. So King Janaka was also, he was called a Rajarshi. Rajarshi means he was a Raja and also a Rishi. So we will see what it is. Of course, in 4th chapter, he is going to say what this Rajarshi is. So Karmanaiva hi samsiddhimasthita Janakadeha. Here he is referring to that Rajarshi Janaka. And like that Rajarshi, there were many other kings, philosopher kings. We will see who are these philosopher kings, etc. tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.